Hi, everyone, and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Chanel, and I am your reader every time you visit me. For those of you who are returning to my channel, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read for all of you again. This reading is a twin flame reading, and I have not done one in quite a while, but I'm feeling a huge shift in the collective for my twin flame viewers. If you're in need of a twin flame reading, the link is in the description box down below. So I'm starting off with the twin flame air signs, and I will do each element. So just check the links down below because I will put the links for the videos. And then that way, if you need to look at other signs or elements, you can. So looking at air signs, this justice came out. And it's interesting because as you saw, there were no other cards in the deck that were face up, right? So I thought that I would take it. Now, what we're doing is we're looking at twin flames and separation because that's such a common theme right now. And it's so incredibly painful. That I wanted to see if we could get kind of to the bottom of like what's been going on in regards to your connection. We're going to pull some cards to get the energy of the twin that is absent. So for a lot of you, that would be your divine masculine. Please know that when I am saying feminine and masculine, you don't have to be a masculine. You don't have to be a feminine physically. That's just how I'm referring to all of you so that I can keep everything straight, okay? So moving on, let's take a look at your twins' energy the last time they saw you. So we have justice as kind of our overall theme because that seemed very important for us to see. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse, and we also have your divine masculine or your twin that is missing saying, I don't want this to end. So kind of interesting energy because I feel like if you're in separation, what happened here, right? This is someone coming to the realization that if something doesn't happen within this connection, this will come to an end, right? There needs to be a discussion or a decision about how you're moving forward. For some of you, your twin was dealing with a karmic partner that they knew they needed to move on from. And they were becoming more aware of how that was affecting the dynamic of your connection, right? I'm seeing that your twin wanted movement within a situation. The difficulty, though, is that this person, whoever this missing twin is, feels like you were looking at them as the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So based on everything that they did to you, for you air signs, this person, I feel like, wanted to do something with you, but the hard part is that they felt like you were looking at them like it's the same as always, regardless of what they say, because you actually have nothing as changing in the reverse for the feminine energy. So as I'm looking at this missing twins energy, they wanted to move the situation forward. They were afraid of rejection. And I feel like they felt as though that would be completely fair for you to have decided you didn't want them because they felt like you were viewing them in a very negative light. Okay. For those of you who were dealing with your twin when you were in union, I feel like you were trying really hard to perhaps vet this person, looking at them, looking at their life, trying to decide if they were to show up tomorrow, is this really somebody that you could go the distance with? And they knew that about you, right? There's an energy here of them knowing that they were withholding a commitment from you. And even though they wanted you to be in their space, they wanted to move the situation forward, they felt apologetic. They also have this energy coming through of feeling like nothing that they say or do is going to rectify what they've done in the past, okay? The way that feeling affected them is the High Priestess. So it's almost like they decided to get very, very quiet because they didn't have a for sure outcome in their mind, right? Maybe in the past, you were more willing to accept this person's offers, or you were more willing to put in the work they're seeing you as someone who wasn't willing to like even meet them halfway last time you saw them, which I feel as though you probably did. But with this justice card here, I can see that you were very like, no, this needs to be reciprocal. I'm not going above and beyond. You're still dealing with someone else. Nothing's any different. I don't even know that I want you if you were to show up, right? And I feel like that's what led to this silence, because you have the Hermit and you have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So I feel as though for the air signs that are viewing this, your person just very abruptly cut communication, right? Super frustrating, because it's almost the energy of them like showing up, apologizing, or making it seem as though they're finally kind of starting to get what you're talking about, that they really want you to be a part of their life. And then very quickly they're silent, and that's because they didn't know where this situation was going. I feel like they were kind of hoping that in their absence, you would have hit like the reset button on your feelings for them, so that it's like, oh, I'm just really happy to see you. It doesn't really too much matter what's been happening in the past, right? That didn't happen. It's like you held this person accountable and you were looking at them like there's such an energetic debt here. We can't just start fresh. We can't just pretend like nothing has happened. Like, I want more, and you've never been able to give it to me. I'm tired of feeling like I'm the only one showing up for this. I'm tired of feeling like I'm the only one trying. Everything you're showing me is making me feel as though you could not be a stable life partner for me, right? So as I'm looking at your person, how this affected them was the Ace of Swords in the reverse. It seems as though they decided to end this, right? It's almost like they wanted to cut their losses. They didn't know how to fix the situation. And so what they did next is really crappy, because they moved into the Five of Swords energy. Okay. So it's like this person could have gone out of their way to do something to hurt you. You know what I mean? It's like when they came in with this conversation that it looks like the two of you had last, right? There wasn't really any emotions. The action didn't really take place. If it started, it stopped very abruptly. Then this person went silent, and then it seems like very quickly they put someone in your spot, right? Or they made it seem as though you didn't have any power in the situation. And I feel like that's because this person felt really stupid about the way that you look at them. There's something here where it's like they feel as though you look at them like a complete and utter waste of time, and like they're not husband or wife material. Like they bring nothing to the table, right? So I'm not sure what the conversation was here, what your twin that's missing, that's what their takeaway was like, okay, my twin acts so elusive, or like they're so much better than me, or like they're so out of my reach. I'm going to, pull away in such a way that it brings them back to reality, so that they can see like I really am a catch, or maybe they're not that great. So very frustrating, because I feel like the twin is operating in their shadow side, their shadow self. Where this left you was the Knight of Cups for you air signs. So I feel like for you, you got into a space where you're like, you know what? I'm going to do something new, right? Because this person never gave me closure. They didn't tell me even what the issue was. I told them what I wanted, and they seemed like they were listening, and then they just completely disappeared and then showed up with someone else on social media. I have to focus on myself, right? I have to heal. I need to start looking at different situations for me, what's available for me in other relationships. This is very much the energy of you. For a lot of you, I feel like you're trying to rise above the situation, because in all honesty, as frustrating as this is, it kind of feels like this is not anything that you have not seen before. I feel like there's a lot of finality, though, coming from your energy for you air signs, because it's like this really takes the cake, right? This person, once again, came back into my life. They told me what they wanted. or they didn't tell me what they wanted, but they acted like they were on board with what I wanted. And as soon as it seems like things were going somewhere, right, they very abruptly leave. Well, this is why. It's because this person couldn't tell where the situation was going. They felt like you had a very negative outlook on them. And I'm picking up on the energy of them struggling very much with accountability at this time in their life. You know, it's like when they really thought about the situation and they realized what a deficit there was there and how much they really would have to even work to get into your good graces. It's almost like they didn't want to do it. So it's just easier to try to make you feel bad about yourself so that if they come back around, perhaps you'd be willing to accept less, right? This is kind of a frustrating energy because I feel like this is manipulative. You know, this is mind games. This is someone who, if they come back into your life, you know, and you're not happy to see them, or you're like, hey, you know, the last time I talked to you, that really wasn't cool what you did, they will leave as a way to like punish you, as a way to make you think about your actions. It's almost like this twin has a habit of ghosting, to try to put you in a space where you will chase them, or you will forget the way that they've made you feel, right? You'll forget that you want them to be accountable for what they've done. So quite frustrating energy in regards to this twin flame separation. I don't even personally feel like your twins' feelings were valid, because I feel like rather than just disappearing, they could have really had a discussion with you, right? This is not that hard to get to the bottom of, right? But I'm seeing that they didn't talk. I'm seeing that they just disappeared and decided to move on with someone else is kind of what this is looking like to me. Even if they're not emotionally involved, because I'm seeing no cups here, but I do see them trying to like, it's almost like build the life with someone else that they offer to you so that you will feel as though you missed out on something great. But in reality, did you? Because if this person isn't willing to put in the hard work to get into your good graces or to make you feel like the situation is equal or you can trust them, are you really missing out? You get what I mean? It's like they just found somebody else to give attention to that they would just be happy with, you know, and maybe that person is happy because there isn't a deficit there, right? If they're spending time with someone new or they, you know, dust off some ex-partner, they probably haven't treated that person the way they treated you. So obviously their relationship is going to look a lot better, right? But your twin is going to have to work a lot less. And that's really kind of what it boiled down to, is they wanted a for sure thing, you know, and they felt like you weren't for sure. They felt like you had a very negative outlook on them based on the way that they've shown up. You know, for some of you, this person is in a relationship and has been in a relationship, you know, the entire time you're dealing with them. Or for others of you, this person just behaves as though they're in a relationship with a karmic partner. And so even if this person comes towards you, you view them as like, oh, well, you're cheating on your person when you come over here. You know that, right? Because you don't act like you're single. You get what I mean? This person didn't want to have to deal with that. So right now, it feels like at this stage of the game, they're trying to kind of punish you, okay? I'm sorry about that. Let me pull you an advice card, and then I'm going to take this to the extended reading so that we can take a look at what they're currently doing. I want to take a look at what they'll do in the future, but I also want to know how they feel about you currently and how that'll affect their behavior. What they'll be bringing into your life, what their next action will be, all kinds of stuff. So air signs, you got time. You're trying too hard, give it time. You know, so I kind of feel like with this person, the way they're behaving, I think you're in a good space by focusing on healing, you know, focusing on self-care. That's what this feels like. Focusing on perhaps meeting new people. This is saying, don't do anything, you know, give it time, right? But one thing I will say is please don't slide backwards in what you expect from this person. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like this is over. There's a lot that hasn't been said here. But because of this justice energy where you're finally like, absolutely not, you know, they're going to keep behaving the way they're behaving until something changes with them. I just don't want you to be the one to make like a concession for this type of behavior. Spirit is asking you to stop putting effort into this, right? Just give it time. This person, you know, this is your twin. So this is kind of a lifelong journey, right? I'm going to take it over to the extended because I want to take a look at all the stuff we talked about. We're going to be looking at the present as well as the future. This is what led up to them separating themselves from you. So I hope that that was able to give you clarity. And it feels as though, you know, this is an opportunity for you to not do work and for this person to see what it's like to be on the receiving end of nothing, right? All right, link is in the description box. I hope this was able to provide you with clarity, and I will speak to all of you again soon. Bye.